Hello guys, welcome to Bright Future channel. Today we are going to learn something new again, and I'm excited because we are going to start designing on a beginner's level in this video.
Audio Jungle.
I'm going to take you through how to design your music covers for your single music releases and your albums and what have you. So let's jump right into the software and then we'll start. I'm going to take my time and go through each step carefully so you can see whatever I use in designing this project. So I'm going to create a new document by clicking on the Control N to pop up the new document. You can do this by also going to File, and then creating a new document. So a preset here, which is social media, this one. Alright, so let's jump straight, click OK, and I'm going to click Control plus the space bar, and then I can hold on to my mouse and then drag it forward or backwards to zoom in smoothly. So now that I have this, let me show you the pictures I'm going to work with and then the title so we can start right from there. So we go straight to the pictures. Today I'm going to show you everything that I'm doing. So if you can see on the screen, I already crop out everything, but I'm going to take you through the steps so you can follow me this time. So I have this picture that I need to design a music cover for. So first thing that you have to do is take out your background and then you put it on your design. Okay, so let's open the real image, and then we are going to start the process by removing the background. Okay, so now that I have this, I am going to click Control and then add space bar. Once that I have my space bar, I can click on the mouse and then drag it forward. So the reason why we are dragging it forward to see the details, because if you are cutting, you really need to see the edges, zoom out and see the edges so you can get the details right. So the first tool that I'm going to use, the tool that I'm going to use for this cutting is going to be the pen tool. You can locate the pen tool by coming to the left side of the toolbars, and then you search for the pen tool. So once I click on the pen tool, you notice right away that my has changed. So we're going to have to zoom it a little more and then start cutting. This is the way this pen tool works. You would have to carefully create your first point by clicking. Then you gently move away from your first point you created, make another click, but this time hold on to your mouse, don't release it, and then you drag it along the place that you want to cut. So you do this in bits. As you follow along the path that you want to do. If you get into a place where there's a corner, you might have to make some stops over there, and then you make your curves. So you can see that I'm only clicking, and then I hold it, and then I'll drag it along the edges or the path that I need to cut off. So we are going to continue this with the hair. Drag along, make sure I get all the lines very well so that the hair is going to look natural when we cut it out. There are a lot of tools that you can use to do this, but I am comfortable with the pen tool. In another video, maybe I can do a tutorial on how to use the various cutting tools. I know beginners really don't like to use this tool because it takes you some time to get used to it. So I'll continue um, going along my path gradually. If you zoom in this way and you make your cut, you are rest assured that once you are done, you are going to have a very clean cut. If you realize other works done by other people, you realize from just looking at the image, you see the person did not do a very good work on the cutting, because mostly people want to do it very fast, so they zoom out like so and then they start cutting. In this way, you may not be able to see the edges very well, and then you end up doing a very bad work. So we zoom in, zoom out again, zoom in to see the details, then we go along very smoothly. Just like I said, you click and hold this, and then you go along the path that you want. So I'm going to fasten this video so we can actually reduce the length of our video. Okay, so we are about to end our cutting, and once you are going along, if you make any mistake, just like so, you just have to click on the Ctrl plus Z, Ctrl plus Z to redo what you did, and then you can correct your path. So we are almost through. You can leave it right here. So once you are through with this selection, you just have to click the Ctrl plus Enter to end or complete the selection. To see that your completion is done, you can see some moving dots around the image. It means we are done. So in this place, you just have to cut the background out, and then you have your image without background. Okay, so I'm going to open what we did already to put it in on a art paper that we already created here. But before then, I'm going to have to get my background that I need for this. I need something seamless, a plain color where I can actually change it no matter how. So I'm going straight to the browser, and I already typed the name here, so I'm looking at options, the best one to use, and we'll go with it, a blank one actually. So I think the first one, this is actually good. I can pick it. Let's pick it. I know it's not too wide, but you're going to work around it. So copy the image and bring it. You can either drop, once you copy, you can hit Ctrl plus V to paste it. Now to resize this, you're going to have to hit Command or Ctrl plus T to create your selection around it, and then you have to click Control Command and then add Shift or Command Shift. Like also you need to add the Alt, so you add Command Shift, and then after selection you just have to click on the Alt plus Shift, and then you have to drag it. drag it. As you add the shift, it's going to go in direct equal proportions. So let's say we have it right here. I need just the pink area, so I'm going to have to use this tool, rectangular marquee, drag along this place where I need to extend. So I need to get rid of the umbrellas beside it. Once you have the selection, you have to click on Control plus T or Command T on the Mac. Once you have it this way, you have the controls around it. Just drag it to the left this way, and then you do same for the right. You click and drag with the rectangular marquee tool, hit Control plus T to transform it, hold it, drag it to the right to fill it. Okay, so now that we have the background this way, I'm going to extend the top so that we have a total fill of the plain background. After you're done with the selection, you can either play. After you're done with the selection, you can either press the enter or just click on this tool right here to commit it. So now that we have this way, we are going to. I need something on a green. On a green, I'm thinking something on a dark green. I don't want to do so much colors, considering the picture that we work with has so many colors. So I'm just going to drop this into it by dragging it and then release it. So now we have the picture in here. We are going to focus on the background, so we turn off this layer, and then to change this to green, we have to create another layer in the layer section by right clicking it and then duplicating the layer. So once you have the duplicate layer, you are going to make one of them gray, the top one, or you're going to have to make the bottom one gray. So by doing so, you're going to hit Control plus U to bring out the saturation. Now you drag the saturation all the way back, and this is going to turn into gray. Now that we have the gray, we are just going to make it a little bit darker. So press Control plus M on the keyboard to bring the curves panel, hold it in the middle and drag it a little bit down to make it darker, just a little bit. Now to get your green on it, bring back the pink and then double click on the layer. Once you double click on the layer, you're going to have this pop up, and then in this section you are going to choose the color overlay. Once you have the color overlay, you can just come here and then go through your colors and then maybe pick the best green that you really think will be nice for your work. Okay, so I don't have any specific, but I want a little bit darker, so let's just leave it right there. As we go on, you might know what to do. So once you do this way, click on the layer you just changed the color, and then you are going to click on rasterize layer. Once you do rasterize layer, this one turns into green. So after here, you're going to have to make the green go through the gray, so you have that background feel. So we're going to blend this into the gray layer by going to the blending mode and choosing lighten. So at this point we can play around it. I think this is we have to choose this one. No, color. Yes. So once you have the color on top of the gray, it's going to pick and bring the texture out of it. At this point, we can try other options, which I think we can get a better um, output before we adjust it. Okay. All right. So see, this the hard light is actually giving us something and cool. We don't have to do so much about it. So we go back to the color layer and then we are going to hit Control M to adjust the color a little bit, and let's see how we're going to get from here. So at this point I can drag it up to make it lighter, drag it down to make it darker. So in this way we're going to leave it just this way, and then we are going to bring back our image. Okay, so now we are getting somewhere. Because of the blue colors and all that, it's not going to really match with my green if you really know how colors really do blend. So I am going to some of the steps, maybe I'll skip them um, because because we imported this layer, it is now a smart object. We need to get rid of it by rasterizing it. So once we rasterize it, we can hit Control U to bring out the saturation, and then take it all back to 0 to make it dark or black and white. But before that, I think I might make use of the t-shirt inside, because it has a very dark and green to match this yellow thing. That would be very cool. So to cut it out, we are going to pick our pen tool again. Our pen tool is right here. We pick our pen tool, come back to the project, and then we'll zoom in. We'll start cutting out the t-shirt inside. Just like the process we did, we are going to go slowly to pick out the t-shirt inside. So we're going to go through the outline that we need. Okay, I think I need to go back a little more and then add the chain. We need to add the chain because now it's passing over the t-shirt. So we need to get all of them together. So I'm going to take all the chain, excluding the blue jacket. You need a lot of time. You have to be very careful to do this. Careful not to go into where you are not looking for. So let's just do it right here. Maybe add the chain down to the bottom, and then we go back. We go back to end the selection. So to end the selections, when it gets closer to the end, we are going to click Ctrl plus Enter to end it. So after making the selection, you're going to have to invert the selection. If you realize once it's selected, it's automatically selecting the whole thing. So you come to the select, hit on invert selection, so you can have only this area selected. So I'm going to duplicate that layer by clicking on Control C, and then you paste it. So we have it right there, but we are not going to move it. So now that we have the inside shade selected out, we're going to come to the main picture, hit Command or Control plus U to bring out the saturation, bring the saturation back to 0, and then we're going to have the color t-shirt remain. So at this point, you can use the curves to brighten the picture a little bit by hitting Control plus N. Hold the curve line and then play around it to make it a little bit brighter. You can also use the levels by hitting Control plus L to bring the levels panel up. Drag it, Control, just play around it to get what you really want. Okay, so let's just leave it right there. I'm going to have to group these two so we can move them together. By doing so, you click on the first layer and then press the Control button and then click it. So you have the two together. Come to this button here and then find this link layers. You just click it to have the two of them together. Now you can move together. So we're going to control this by bringing it just a little down here to the base, and then now you can see, to make it more realistic, we are having this his boots on the green just like that, actually hanging in the air. So we want to create a shadow to make it natural. I have a very tricky way of creating shadows by using just the parts that I need. I need to create the shadows. So at this point, I need some shadows here under both legs. And so I'm going to use this tool, polygonal marquee selection, pick the area that I need to do the shadow, and then we're going to make a copy out of it. To do that quickly, you can, once you select the area, you click Ctrl plus J, J for Jaden, J on your keyboard to make a quick duplicate. So once you have that duplicate, you can bring it forward. You can bring it forward on the layer section. So now you have it there. Because it's the same, you can't see anything. So let's double click it to make it colored. Okay, so let's hit the color. We need shadows are supposed to be black. So we come here and pick the black color. Now to make it a little more realistic, we're going to have to rasterize it first so that we can do other things to the image. So to make it more realistic, we're going to head over to the filter. We're going to head over to the filter, and then we'll go to blur, and then we'll hit Gaussian blur. So once we hit Gaussian blur, you can see that the outline is beginning to blur out, but we want it a little bit more. So we hold this slider and increase it to make it the edges more smooth and looking like a shadow. Because it's on the on top of the picture, you are not seeing the effect, but just leave it right at here around 13 pixels and click OK. Now you can send it back to the image, drag it over like that. Now to give the shadow a direction, you have to you have to transform it by hitting Ctrl plus T, and then you hold it here. To tilt it, you have to hold the Control key to make the cursor change. Once the cursor changes, hold it and drag it to the left this way. So assuming the light is coming from the left, you're going to have the shadow shift to the right in this manner. So you can just leave it here, click commit, and then to make it more realistic, we have to raise some part of it and make it a little bit faint and blend into the background. So you're going to you're going to use the eraser tool, by going to the tools panel, look for the eraser tool. So the eraser tool should be here. Click it or simply click E on your keyboard. Once you have the eraser tool, you have this eraser with this size coming up here. To make it smaller or bigger, you have to click on the square bracket and either the left one to make it smaller and the right one to make it bigger. So just right here we can have it here. This is good. And then if you come at the top of the menu, you have some opacity and then flow. You need to change the flow or opacity to something like 50 to 60. Let's leave it at 61. And then you go back to the shadow and then drag over it to make it a little bit faint. I think it's too much, so let's go and reduce it to maybe 40, 43, and then drag over it this way. So there you can see the image, the shadow is coming out nice, but here this part is actually darker, so you can just go to the layers, hit the main opacity and drag it just a little. If you drag it more, you see it is disappearing. So you just have to drag it just a little bit to 60 or 63 and then leave it right there. So this is how you create a realistic shadow, and we are going to do the same thing to the left foot. So guys, if you are new to this channel, kindly subscribe to my channel, leave a comment, and then don't forget to hit on the notification bell, so when we put out new videos, you'll be the first to be informed. So let's just keep it right here, this way, commit it, take our eraser, and then erase some part of it. Go to the main, reduce it just a little here to make it more realistic. So now you'd have to remember we grouped this one and that, so you have to add these two shadows to the main one you grouped so that you can move them together. So now we can move everything together here.